Good day. Nick from Vulcan Gun Refinishing here. We got another fresh project in, all the way from Saskatchewan, Regina, Saskatchewan. We got ourselves an M1 Garand. It's in for a repark. This particular one is actually based on a Breda receiver with pretty much mostly US GI parts on there. Just want to give you a quick snoop of the rifle. It's got lots of little issues and flaws. Well, if it was perfect, I guess it wouldn't be here, would it? So, go to the other side a little bit. Just give you a quick perusal, and then we'll go over it in detail. Obviously, you can see the wood is pretty much baffed, but we got a nice reproduction Boyd stock here that we're going to use with it, which is just beautiful. I've used these stocks before, and they're absolutely beautiful to work with. This one's an unfinished one, so I'll have to do a little bit of inletting to get all the rifle to fit in the wood. But that's no big deal. That usually only takes a few minutes, and then I'll stain it. I've got my own unique stain that I do on Garand stocks to kind of duplicate the World War II old growth walnut look, and so that it's going to look pretty good when it's all done. Anyway, let's look at the rifle now in a little bit of detail. Like I said, obviously the wood is scrapped, so we're not even going to really waste any time with that. I just wanted to get in and show you a few things on the receiver. We got pretty nice metal here. The receiver itself, anyway, is quite nice. There's no pitting. Everything looks good. The clip latch has a few machining marks in it and a few pits. We'll see if we can file some of those out, unless the customer wants to maybe supply me with a new one. So, but once again, like I say, the receiver is quite nice. Really no issues at all. The first thing we get to that really needs some help is that barrel band there is extremely pitted. It's certainly not worth putting any time or effort into. You can just see it's actually eaten away. The edge of it's just eaten away. The pits are so deep, there's nothing left of it. So it's going to need that clip to hold that wood down. Then we get up here to this band. If I can get in nice and close, you'll be able to see that we got the same. See if I can get this camera focused. There we go. There we go. You can see it's got the same issues. It's rusted and pitted just everywhere. The stock ferrule seems to be in pretty good shape. There's no real issues with that. That's all well and good. That sling swivel is in nice shape. No problems there. You can see more gashes in that old wood. So, but that ferrule's in good shape, but that band there is just totally euchred. It's not worth putting any time or money into. We keep working our way forward, and we get to the front cap on the wood, that metal cap on the end. Once again, you can see that it's terribly pitted, just eaten away, pitted really bad. There's even one spot on here where you could just stand up. Let's see right there where the wood is actually. Look at better lighting here. There you can see it right where the metal is actually eaten away. So it's certainly not worth doing anything with that piece. So we're missing the stacking swivel. Don't have that, and its screw. They're both gone. Gas tube's in good shape. Everything's good on that. Barrel, nice. No pits. Nothing there. No. Well, we got some pitting, I should say. Pitting going on in that front sight. Yeah, it's fairly bad actually. So that front sight, I would say, isn't worth saving. The amount of labor to fix that compared to replacing it. Let's just have a look at the other side of it and see what that looks like. It's probably just as bad. Oh yeah, you can see there we're getting close. And that hasn't even been bead blasted. Once I bead blast it, that'll be that much worse. So we're going to need that front sight. We're going to need that metal right there. We're going to need that metal right there. We're going to need, get to the op rod now. The op rod, as you can see, is quite pitted. Once again, it hasn't been sandblasted, so once that gets sandblasted, it's going to be much worse, much worse. The glass bead just makes that rust explode. It's like a grenade. We'll get in a little bit closer here. Get this camera to focus up. Alright, we'll get in nice and close, go nice and slow. Here we go. There we go. Now you can see just how pitted, pits upon pits upon pits. So I don't think it's going to look very good once it's bead blasted. But anyway, we'll talk to the customer and see what he wants to do about it. You can see it there; it's pretty bad. They're pretty hard too. It's hard to repair them because the metal is quite hard on them. Let's have a look at the trigger guard. Once again, we got the same situation. It's just pits and pits and more pits. So it may not be worth putting any time into. Once again, they're fairly easily replaced. You just see there's just no really great area on it. It's just all, look at that, just pitted everywhere. You'd never make that look nice. Take away from the whole look of the gun. The actual trigger loop is also a bit pitted. A new one would probably help it out quite a bit. I noticed this back sling swivel. It's also pretty baffed. So once again, really not worth fixing. The buttstock, the butt plate is just a typical Garand butt plate. It's got lots of issues, lots of marks and dings and pits, and not worth fixing them because the reproductions, which are beautiful, are reasonably inexpensive, like around 40 bucks or so, and it's a beautiful reproduction. They look good. Even an original one, they're not that hard to find, but you know, it's a piece that gets beat up quite a bit, so it'd probably be a better choice to just get a repro. Now we'll check out this side of the receiver. Everything's looking good. Got a few machining marks, but that's totally to be expected. The knobs for the sight look good. Once again, the receiver's all good in that area. There you can see those pits again. See if I can get the back end of that op rod. See if we can get some pits to show up there. Yeah, no, can't get it. Not focusing real good, but get in this area here again. And you can see that op rod. You can see that op rod is just, there we go. Yeah, just really not worth saving. Yeah, not worth it. See all in there, all those pits. So, and I thought I saw, yeah, I do see a little bit. There's a little bit of pitting going on right here, the top of that sight hood. Of course, they could all be filed up. It's not really too deep, and there's no major dings on the top of the sight. Usually these get all beat up, but these aren't in bad shape actually. There's some detail on the actual back of this Breda receiver. It's a beautiful receiver. The receiver itself is gorgeous. There's no pitting, no nothing. Get this under the light a little bit better. You can see that serial number a little better. There we go. You can see that all looks fine, no problem. That's all going to come out beautiful. I don't have to do any metal work on that receiver. We're not worried about machining marks. That's completely okay on this one. He's not looking for a show gun, but that bolt's obviously been changed. It's a Springfield Armory bolt, and it's in beautiful shape. Looks fairly new actually, but once again, the receiver, no problem. A few machining marks, but that's okay. I mean, a couple little minor marks in there, little dings, but very little. It would really not justify sending that receiver out and getting it annealed and rehardened and all that, just for those couple minor little issues. And I see a little bit of, I don't know if that's pitting or grease. Oh, I see, it's grease. Bit of grease right there. Yeah, I thought it might have been pitting right in here, but it's just grease. That's coming off, no problem. So, anyway, so that's basically it. We're going to change the wood, hopefully we're going to change some of those metal pieces that I talked about. I'll get a hold of the customer and find out what he wants to do. And meanwhile, I'll tear the gun apart and look at it inside, check all the pieces out, and we'll go over them together, and then I'll have a full report for the customer and see what he's going to need all total and see what he wants to do. So this phase of the job is over. I'll get it torn down and I'll get back to you.